Hey guys, what's going on? I did a video. It was a three-part video. It was intraday, sometime last week, and we've been working a lot on the intra moves around the 1 minute, 5 minute, and even inside the 1 minute on the tick chart. And so, on the prop team, the coaching group, really a lot, really since this year, the last 2 quarters, we've been working on more of the high frequency stuff. So I put together this video. Before I get into it, I just want to reiterate the same mistakes I keep seeing happen. If you guys are only trading 1, 2, 3 contracts, you need to focus on just putting one contract on and then adding in the direction of your play. If you put a contract on and then it goes against you, then you add another lot, and then you add another lot, you don't have enough contracts to be able to hedge the other side of that trade if it pushes against you. And what ends up happening is it pushes against you further than you think. It rallies, you don't get back to your average cost, and you get stuck out of the money underwater. So I'm trying to help you guys with those that are trading smaller contracts. If you're trading 15 contracts, you can get long 1, 2, 3, and then be short 5 on the other side or 7 on the other side if you get in trouble. If you're only trading 1, 2, 3 contracts, you put one on, give yourself another contract to add in the direction of your play, and then maybe you have 1 or 2 on the other side, depending on you're not putting one on, and then you're at 3. It's usually you put one on, short one, you cover one, you put 2 back out, you cover one, then you get long another one. But you're oscillating between maybe being long 1 to 2 contracts in the direction of the play, or being hedged 1 to 2 contracts in the direction of the play. Just assuming we're talking about 3 contracts that some of you guys are trading. So that's how you got to kind of progress around, especially in the prop program when you're around just 3 contracts. So maybe you can see that in this video. Again, I'm focused on being inside the 1 minute and the 5 minute, especially off the open. And then just keep in your mind, okay, I'm going to put one contract on, and then it needs to work, and I need to start making money, and it needs to move in my favor, and then I can add and reduce more, and I can put more contracts on. But if you're trying to add and size into a position when you only have 3 contracts, it's too easy to get stuck, especially if you're trading something like the NASDAQ and moves against you too fast. But your risk still applies. It's not put one contract on and you never take it off. If you put 1, 2, you end up long 2 contracts, it comes back to break even. Maybe you have to take a break even trade, or use your max loss per rule trade. If it's $500, and then you need to start hedging, and if that doesn't work, you cut risk. If it's $1,000, whatever it is, but it's not forgetting about the max loss per trade, max loss per contract stuff. So that's part of the risk management. The size, keeping an eye on the P&L, but that's a simple concept. Stay inside the 1 minute and 5 minute trend. Don't get too contrarian on a 30 minute or a 15 minute. That's where the energy flow is in the 1 minute and 5 minutes. So you're day trading off the open, that's really important. All right, hope that helps. I'll get into the charts. Oh, and also before I do that, we're coming up here on May. I didn't bring on anybody new in April. I think we had 1 new trader in February. I've just been working on some other projects. But if you guys, from now on, I'm going to be working more on the institutional side. And so those clients are going to get a lot more intraday signals, and obviously I'll be trading with them. So some of them pay up to 10 grand, 25 grand. So from now on, the prop program on the independent side is going to be at least 5 grand if you want to work together, intraday, on the coaching and mentorship stuff. But if you sign up before May, I'm going to keep it at 2,500. So it's 50% off if you guys join before May. All right, I'll put the details on at the end of the video on how to sign up for that. Okay, guys, I'm just recording what we're doing here right off the open. There's a bullish wall coming out of this little sideways range trade we have in the 5 minute. I'm actually going to join the bid here. I'm letting this 1 minute cycle come back in. I'm going to cover this S&P. See if we can get a little bit, get a little bit deeper in this.
I'm watching the tick chart, of course, also. I don't know if that was the low right there or not. So I was just going with the power right off the bat, took some profit. We pulled back on the tick chart. I bought it. I'm waiting on the 1 minute cycle to come back down. On a little bit of strength there on its 1 minute cycle. So relatively hedged. Let's see if we can make it high or not. The P's aren't coming off. I'm gonna cover this S&P if I can a little bit deeper. Just scalp that back. I actually want the pullback. So I want the pullback on the NASDAQ inside of all this. It's the wall concept. Okay, that's the gift zone. There's really not that much here in S&Ps. S&Ps just sometimes will get sticky.
Order filled.
Depending on what the dealers need to do. So I covered that scalp back. All right. If we get back near the highs in the NASDAQ and if S&P gets back to the top of the range up here, I'll just probably reshort that. Depends on if I take any profit on NASDAQ. All right, 1 minute cycles, it may turn here just because it oscillated so high earlier. See if we can get maybe below 13,800. Just gonna bounce here, watch. S&P is low too. I'm gonna try to join the bid.
Order filled.
It's just firm. Yeah, there we go. See the 1 minute's turning back up. I'm just kind of eyeballing the. It's not so much the. Sometimes I look at the level, but sometimes it's just the distance and kind of the rhythm or the distance between the highs and the lows for it to ebb and flow back up. And I want to take on this new high
Order
because I want
filled.
to. S&P is actually not rallying on that last little cycle up. You can see here, guys, S&P. So it's probably going to bounce here also, though. Come back up. All right. So I had two little good scalps already on NASDAQ. About $1,000 on the day so far. So now if this 1 minute flips and turns back down, then it can finish lower, right? So that you can get the oscillator at a lower level. Nice take on new highs. That's what you always want to take on new highs. Lines are coming off. Russell's being goofy. If I wasn't long anything, I would be buying right here with the tick cycle. I'm sure is low right now. Yeah, see you're down here. I'd take up there, be buying back some, but I'm going to try to just be a little bit more patient on this 1 minute. And then you guys can check your 5-minute cycles as well. When it's high. Another reason why we can potentially come back in. I trying to been reminding myself lately to try to keep some piece on for a full 5-minute cycle instead of being in and out a little bit too much and just let some run a little bit more. Just something I've noticed. I've been getting a little bit trigger happy. We'll see if that plays out or not. But usually, most of the activities, I'm involved in the tick chart and the 1 minute. Now I follow the blue line. It gives me a little bit better read. The orange line can be a little bit deceiving. If we get it below 40 or we get below 3,800, you're about 50% of the move off the low this morning. Come to pop. One more push down. Okay, we're getting pretty close now. You're below 40 on the 1 minute, so I'm going to shift back to the tick chart. And let's watch this tick cycle come back in. Now, I'm only trading 3 contracts because I know some of you guys are in the bid.
Order filled.
I'm showing you how to trade because some of you guys, when you're trading like on a Top Step program, you get into the scaling plan. Double-edged sword. When you have more contracts, it's easier to work a position, but some of you are still getting used to working positions. It can have the opposite effect where you get you're not adding to your winners and you're digging yourself a bigger hole with more leverage. So for me, it's easier with more contracts. So when you go to on the smaller size, it still can be challenging because you got to be a little bit more patient. You can't just work a position and be as high frequent with your trading. You just have to be a little bit more specific on your location and a little bit more patient. So I'm showing you just on a few contracts kind of how to work this in real time, and then you can see what's possible. All right. So that was a good buy, pretty much on the low of the move. We'll see if that was it. 1 minute. 1 minute cycles right there. See how you time that up? So I don't necessarily always wait for these low levels. I mean, you're in the ballpark of being pretty low in the cycle. So I front run that, and then I go to the tick chart. All right, now the 1 minute's turning up. Another couple $100 in here on this. 5 minute cycle was high. We could have taken right there. See if we can get a little bit more of a pop on the 1 minute. All right, I'm gonna join the offer.
Order filled.
Nice little scalp there. About 10 points. And then I'm just going to let this rest run, guys. And if the market just wants to chug higher all the rest of the morning, you just keep adding and reducing on the long side.
Order filled.
All right, I'm buying back in. We had a nice little drop after taking into that high. So now we got 1 minute still low. Now the risk to the downside would be that we take out the lows of the real money candle here on the 1 minute. I'm calling this a real money candle. Just if you put these two together on a 2-minute or 5-minute chart, they're the largest candles right off the bat in the morning. So what happens if I'm long here and we start to break down risk, but then I'll be busier on the short side of S&P and or I'll flip and just start working short NASDAQ. Okay, I'm gonna charts just all whacked out. This is giving me issues. I'm joining up.
Order filled.
Like, I'll just show you guys to take the other side. Like, I could sell S&P here. Join the offer there.
Order filled.
If we get back down a couple points, I'll cover that back. Kind of sets me up to get maybe more involved in the tick chart here in the next pullback. Oh, I just missed that. See that would see how I sell there into the strength. And let's watch this tick chart, see if it comes back down. That might have been the low right there, 94. So you kind of get a feel for, there was some resistance. The market pulls back to the bottom of the bands. These algorithms and these very micro cycles will still ebb and flow like this. So you can trade. Okay, look, S&P's making a new high. So I'm still long NASDAQ, so that's okay. But I don't want S&P to drag against me too much. There's resistance at 42, but S&P is starting to take off here. So I'm definitely buying this next pullback on the NASDAQ. Tick chart's kind of low.
Order
I'm
filled.
just going to buy it. Sometimes even though the market didn't necessarily pull back as much as it did relatively here in this last 7 flow, I'll just buy the 1-minute cycle, even if price hasn't pulled back, especially when S&P's moving higher like this. So I've only given back 137. I don't really want to. I'm long 2 NASDAQ, so that's moving more. I'm going to take on that.
Order filled.
Take on the NASDAQ. Don't really need this S&P. I'm giving back 200. I'm just buying this back here.
Order filled.
And then I've got a profit cushion on the NASDAQ, right? So I got some room to play. I'll let this run, and then I'll try to get a little bit, see if it can go a little bit higher, give a little bit more room for a profit cushion. Then I'll buy the next 1 minute. I'll buy the next tick chart lower, tick lower. What am I saying? Next cycle on the tick chart. That's low. Maybe you're supposed to be buying right there right now. I'll wait on the 1 minute. I've already booked some good gain here. First 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So let's see. And we're at new highs. We'll just keep buying dips and stay with this uptrend. It's a Friday. I don't try to get too cute with expecting like a big reversal. Just try to stay with what is. Again, 40. This area right here in S&P. So yeah, could have stayed with the short just because it's at pi on some of the levels, 15 minute, 30 minute. So maybe the market struggles here if it is. Yeah, I guess we could see if you were stayed short. You buy this next pullback on the 1 minute. You could have bought that back. Okay. See, there was the low, right? Like if there's trading more contracts, I would have taken more into the highs there, and then you'd be buying 16. If you sell 25, 26, 27, you get 10 points lower, you just buy a piece back.
Order filled.
Okay,
Order
again, the
filled.
tick chart was getting low, but started to turn up, so I just go with it, and then let's see if we can push back towards the high or not. And again, if we were to start to break down, okay, I've got a cushion on the day, but I could still get back on the short side of S&P to help with deeper, a little bit deeper of a setback. Couple $100. Could take some here if we want. Join the offer. Dismissed.
Order filled.
All right. Came back and lifted us. Nice. Almost up $2,000 on the day. NASDAQ. Just gonna buy the next pullback. Good cover on S&P through pi. This could have more to go. I mean, maybe we go all the way back to the highs from before the Biden tax comments yesterday, which is way up at 41.65, 41.70. So pretty bullish morning. The 1 minute cycle is still going to be high. Shoot, could have bought another pullback there. One minute's high. See if we get a little bit deeper on the tick chart. Market's just firm. $56. See if we can get below 40. All right.
Order
Join the
filled.
bid.
Order filled.
Nice. Make new high. Oh, we're gonna have to sit on this 1 minute pullback. Anyway, you guys can kind of see just, I can do a little bit of a recap, but trying to go with what is, trying to stay with the power right off the open. And then you can pick your spots, scalp it around on the 1 minute tick chart. So market kind of struggled up there at 34, so long 2, right? Yeah, I'm going to just offer one in front of the bands right here at 30. If we get back up there. I'm going to switch over here in a second and check a couple other markets, some of my core positions. Come on, lift me. Oh, 1 minute supposed to come in. All right, come on. Get above. Resistance for some reason is right at 30. I'm at 30 3/4. Should maybe not be greedy, huh? I missed. can get us new high S&Ps. These are strong. Come on, NASDAQ, follow. I only have $150 in it, and they're on the highs there, so. Good example of a 1 minute chilling. Now, if this move to the right a good amount, if this up, then it should be at new highs.
Order filled.
There we go. 1 minute back up. So anyway, guys, you guys get the point on this. As far as right off the open, you can just continue to do this and work. You know, the 5 minute never really pulled back. This has just been a strong uptrend right from the get-go. Keep an eye on your longer term cycles as far as the near term. 15 minutes rising, still got plenty of room to run. Probably not going to have a chance for setback until maybe you get back towards mid-morning or lunchtime. See what happens up here at 38.62. That's about halfway of a move down from yesterday. But again, you could rally you could have a complete retrace today. Down all day yesterday, up all day today. It's been kind of that choppy market. It's been tough to keep equities down. Yeah, so 30 minutes got room to run, and then you can even kind of keep an eye on the hourly, and it should be on its way up too. So it's just a firm hourly can still come up more also. So good job so you see how I shorted S&P, not a big deal. When it starts to get strong, I don't drag it all the way. If I was trading 2, 3, 4, 5 contracts long on the NASDAQ, then I'd probably drag this one lot in S&P or even try a second lot contrarian up here. But I'm only playing 1 or 2, 3 contracts long in this video. So when I don't want to try to drag that one too far. You go to a new highs, you cut the risk. You just keep an eye on your risk here on what you're long. 1 minute's coming down. Let's buy this dip right here.
Order filled.
Get back involved there. 1 minute's coming in. 5 minute can still come down. Let's buy them. So you can see like we came from 20 back up to 27, 28. So it's about, sometimes these ebb and flows here I've noticed on the ticks charts, like 10 points is pretty wide. So from this buy here at 22 right in front of that resistance is not a bad place to just offer some out. Let's see if we come lift this. We may need to test pi down here around 16. Chart's low. Come on, pop with the 1 minute. You guys can see I'm much more active with the 1 minute trend, 5 minute trend, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buys. Right? 10
Order
buys
filled.
and two sales on the short side. That's what I mean by, that's the art of the size. We got lifted there. That's the art of compound what the immediate trend that you're in, right? What's happening now. If you're trying to fade this, you could be short all morning. You could be short all day. You never get the turnaround till Sunday night. So that's not where you want to be busy. You want to be busy with the 1 minute. And that's what the algos chase too. The fast money, the quickest money there is, the algos are all very high frequency inside of these 1 minute trends. Man, S&P is just going. I don't really know. I don't know what levels next in S&Ps. I don't really have much till, like I said, 65, 70. We're already up 20 points, only 0.5%. Maybe be up a full percent today or more. So I'm just going to let this run, guys. One minute cycle still coming up. Guess we could have bought another piece. Anyway, you can see that's pretty good morning, right? $2,200. What do you trade here? Oh, first 30 minutes or so. All right, so you guys can do this. It's more of the same the rest of the morning. There's plenty of opportunity to get involved. You just keep an eye on your cycles, identify the trend, and then I'm trying to help you guys get better with like understanding how to work these positions and be a little bit busier, even inside the 1 minute chart.
All right, so that was a good session. You can see a couple grand there inside the first 10, 15 minutes on the open. And then what I was thinking also to teach you guys, as you go throughout the day, I mean, sometimes you have a really good, the morning just goes smoothly, and sometimes the easiest trades are just, they're effortless. Like the market opens up, you add to it a couple times, it takes off. You could be done inside of 20 minutes if you want. You make a couple grand, and if that's all you want to do, that's great. If you want to try to build on your gains, like I end up doing like 6 grand here on, I think for the rest of the morning, but there was like 2 more pushes, and it was just a one-way street all day. It was just one of those mornings where tech was strong. But the way I think about that, when you want to add and just try to go for more, if you get up 2-3 grand, let's say, maybe it's 200-300 for you, but just think about it the same way. But you get up 2-3 grand, I might say, all right, I'm gonna be willing to give back 500 or 1,000. All right, then I get up 4 grand. I'm like, okay, I'll give back maybe $1,000. Let's see if we can do 5 or 6. Get up 5 grand, same thing. Okay, I'm only gonna give back 1,000, and then what I'm doing is I'm adding to my position, and I'm just monitoring my average cost. So I'll add to it, and then I take some off, and I add to it, I take some off, and I just really get good at focusing on your profit cushion and where your break even is. The last thing you want to do is when you got these power trends, sometimes if you buy the latter part of the cycle, because you got to be aware that you still keep an eye on your cycles. If you're getting high within the 30 minute and the hourly, and you're in an uptrend, you're long, you know that there's a higher chance you're going to roll over. So you don't want to add a couple times, then price comes through your break even, and the next thing you know, you're down $1 grand, and then you freeze, and then you're down 2, and you just gave up your whole morning in a matter of like 10 minutes when the cycle turns. So that's how I think about adding if you want to trade throughout the rest of the day. And this just comes from experience where I've done that. You trade great all day and then give it all back in the last hour of trading. That's a horrible feeling. So you want to manage your time too. We talk about that a lot in coaching. Like, you got to manage the day too. If I'm up at London trading, I have London all the way till US lunchtime. I'm going to get some good moves. After lunch is sloppy, low energy, it's harder to work positions. Market doesn't really give you an opportunity to get out, volatility is tighter. And then the last 2 hours of trading, you're up against the close, and you can't put as much risk on, and it gets crazy sometimes and really just random right in front of the close. So you're working against the clock in the afternoon. So that's how you have to manage your profitability also throughout the day. That's part of the risk management also. So anyway, I'll show you guys where you can sign up if this is what you want help with. This is what we do. This is professional trading. It's high level stuff. Yeah, so, and then some of you maybe, I think, have been around for the last year on the prop program, and your kind of time is up in here in March and April. If you want to continue for like another quarter or 6 months, you can talk to me about having a discount on my time and the price is not going to be another 2,500 for you guys. But you know, that's just time together in the room that you got to pay for. It just makes sense. So, yeah, that said, I'll just switch over to how you can sign up.
All right, guys, and listen, before I show you where to go to sign up for the coaching mentorship, join the prop program, and you get the options stuff I'm going to show you in a second. So this was the start of that move, the particular day that I just referenced in trading. I was mostly showing you what I was doing on the NASDAQ here for this entire move, but I want you guys to notice this. This is a really long video, but this is important. So traditionally, Pi always is going to offer good edges, right? But when you want, like even right here, this is a 5-minute chart. When the market breaks down, I don't want you guys to miss. I mean, this is a kind of a shorter move, but I don't want you to miss the energy, especially off the open on a 1-minute or a 5-minute, and be waiting for like a 30-minute edge or an hourly edge, or even here, a 5-minute edge. If you take this edge on the 5-minute long, okay, fine. Let's say you don't catch this drop, but I really want you, ideally, you want to get to the point where you're mastering the initial move out of the box. I always talk about, like, think about horse racing. The horse is all ready to go. The gate's open. Which way are we going right out of the gates? So many traders wait and wait and wait. They don't even make a trade for like 30 minutes, an hour into the morning session because they're just not sure what to do. I don't know, lack of confidence. But anyway, ideally you want to be short into and making money because you'll be with the 1-minute. This is a 5-minute chart. If you're on the tick chart or the 1-minute, you're going with the flow already. And then you could try, especially if you're trading smaller contracts, then you try long. If that doesn't work, you need to be looking at the amount that you're losing. Maybe it's $500 here. Maybe by the time you're here, it's $1,000. But if you were short to start, maybe S&P or even NASDAQ, and you flipped and went long, there's a distance here below Pi that you say, you know what, I'm out. Because you can't hold this all the way down to here and then you bounce back up and you notice you never get back to this area. This is exactly what I was just trying to mention when I'm talking into the camera. You don't get back to that level and then you miss all of this drop, which again, I always talk about the secondary drop is bigger. First drop, bounce, secondary drop is bigger. So even if you buy Pi like that, when you're up in the northern hemisphere, you drop. A lot of times you'll hold that, and then maybe you'll have a nice move. But I keep trying to reiterate: the money to be made is with the 1-minute, with the 5-minute. Just because you buy here and it bounces and then craters, it's not buy Pi, and that's like your answer to endless profitability. It's staying with what is. And yeah, if you hold here and then you bounce, again, you might bounce and then drop. So just buying Pi isn't the answer. You need to stay with what's working. If it does this, now you got something. Now you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. But if you commit one long here and it breaks, at some point you either need to be short something on the other side, like S&P, and needs to be working for you, or you're gonna have to stop out, cut risk, whatever. That's where you have to get good. That's where you're gonna go to the next level, is managing the risk. I can't tell you buy here, 10 points, stop. This is a perfect indicator. No. I'm showing you where the edges are, but you have to go with the flow and then work your positions accordingly. And this is the opposite this morning. So I sold S&P here at Pi because this is largely in a downtrend, right? This is in the southern hemisphere. We're below Pi. We're below the 200. Price is below the 200, right? Southern hemisphere. And I sold S&P here maybe once or twice. You saw it in the video, the charts in my execution. But once that didn't work, like, I'm not interested in that anymore. Like, I was all over long NASDAQ for the rest of this move. The entire time, long NASDAQ, long NASDAQ, long NASDAQ. So that's I think sometimes it's easy to get sucked into indicators or whatever. Just looking for like some magic. There's no magic to this, guys. It's working your position. It's managing the risk. That's the magic. There's plenty of edges, but what are you going to do when the edge doesn't work? Are you going to stop out? Are you going to get long on the other side to hedge? And then how are you going to play it from there? Because being short all morning or for all of this was plenty of opportunity to be short. Money, 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 money. Here it didn't work. So what do you do then? Do you fight it, fight it, fight it, fight it, fight it? This is what I used to do. You fight it all day long and you completely blow up. So the key is don't. If you want to work a short here, you have a certain amount of area that you have to determine. You can look at it points, 40 to 50, 10 points, okay. But definitely by here, when you have a real money candle, you're out. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, not interested, took it off, just work NASDAQ long, NASDAQ long, NASDAQ long. So that's what's going to happen around pi, especially. You're going to get failures, then you're going to be perfectly timing it, or it's time to stop and go the other way, or already have something on the other way. Anyway, just to drive that point home, what I wanted to show you guys where to sign up. If this resonates with you, I don't know where else on the internet, especially as a retail independent trader, especially if you have zero experience or you haven't traded for like almost 20 years like I have, 15 years, where you're going to get stuff like this. I love teaching the individual, the little guy, if you want to call it that. Some of you aren't little. My ideal client isn't someone with $1,000, but I'll still, if you want to put in the effort, you want to put in the time, I'll help you. I've got some doctors that are the best in the world at what they do, surgeons, and they want to get out of medicine because they want to trade full time. I work with them, and I don't charge $500. I've done deals where it's literally $1,500 to work for an entire year, which is crazy. But if you go to jenkinscm.com, jenkinscm.com, it's Jenkins Capital Management. Come to services. Better be recording. Trying to watch hockey at the same time. That's the institutional stuff. Get access trading course package. I'm trying to keep it simple right now. So I'm basically giving you guys everything I have, every course I've done on the retail side. Again, for me to do coaching and mentorship, I'm going to charge $5,000 from now on. And if you sign up for May, it's $24.99, so 50% discount. Give you all my Forex stuff. That's an amazing market. I haven't talked about it much just because futures is kind of where it's at, but we still trade the euro. I'm talking about those markets. I'm not trading the cash as much. It's just hard to do everything all the time, but I love Forex. Pi cycle trading secrets, probably greatest discovery ever made in markets. Our entire directional model we used on the fixed income desk. We covered all the primary dealers, hedge funds, big hedge fund shops. We did this for 10 years. Gosh, that alone is amazing. Just everything that we used to trade directionally and talk to all the big banks and everything is right there. Options course, not just like simple stuff. You can learn what a covered call strategy is. I teach you how to implement hedging, call ratio, back spread, stuff you won't hear on CNBC. Total value, 5,500. But then you get it like intraday, intra-week updates as a part of the Options Edge team, which is a private group. We do a lot of swing trades there. Again, just more hands-on instead of just learning from the digital on-demand product or course, just sitting at home by yourself. So again, normally it's $5,000. Sign up for May, it's 50% discount. All my courses, options team, and then the coaching and mentorship program. We trade live together every day. So what I'm basically doing is including you I'm with the institutional guys more, but you're basically there every morning with me. So I have never had access to anybody like that. I paid 12 grand to learn Forex and only could talk to the guy on the weekends. But that was hugely beneficial for me. It was worth millions. And so anyway, $24.99. If you guys please let me know. I want to keep working with anybody that's hungry that wants to. I don't care where you're in the world. I've traders from everywhere, and it always amazes me who pops up from, whether it's Australia or opera singers out of Italy. I mean, if you're hungry, you want to do this, I really don't care your experience. Sometimes the less experience, the better. I mean, you got to go learn some stuff on your own. I mean, don't ask me what's short covering. That's kind of a waste of my time, obviously. But you can. I'm there, and I'm here to show you, like, oh, this is how you do this. I can work with the beginners. If you're really experienced, you just want a better cyclical edge, or just see how I work positions and pairs things off, and just gives you just to grow and do more and more and more. This is what I'm doing. This is what we're all about. Okay, guys, hope that helps. I'll see some of you in the morning. If you got questions, I don't know, you gotta try to find me on some of the free chats. Just follow the site. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. And maybe I'll have an update tomorrow. Pretty busy tomorrow, but Thursday we'll do some global macro stuff into the end of the week. But you guys are in there. That's another reason to just join the team, so you're not out of the loop. I mean, I can do the cycle edge stuff, which is kind of weekly, more passive. But if you really want what we're thinking into the close, turns around lunchtime, something comes out with Powell. I mean, when Trump was tweeting every day, everything changed. There's a lot of intraday stuff, but that's all part of the prop team and the mentorship program that you'll get. So, all right, guys, hope that helps.